Hey, Coach, what's going on? It's Jake Dixon. Congratulations once again on launching with the Locker Room. I know it's been a few weeks now, and you've probably had agents beginning to report their numbers into the tracking system, which also exposes it to the fact that you're probably experiencing some struggle, just like all of us do, of getting your agents to not just report, but report on time. So I want to spend the next few minutes with you kind of just sharing how I explain this to the agents and a couple of tools that I actually show them so it comes full circle as to how they see the benefit and the value versus just feeling like we're trying to become their boss or just to appease us, because after all, a lot of people say they get into real estate for the freedom and the flexibility. Yet we all know they sometimes choose that freedom and flexibility over just working, and they immediately dig themselves a hole. So some of the things that we're taught here at Keller Williams, obviously, is that numbers are the language of business. It literally removes any emotion from the conversation, and we can just see things for what they are. And especially as coaches, we have to approach that with no judgment. The numbers aren't necessarily good or bad. They're just a reflection of the current state of activity or possibly exposing a gap in a skill set that we can help them address, right? So as far as the numbers are concerned, what I typically say is this. I say numbers matter, right? And our job as coaches is not just to teach people, the agents, how to put together a good deal or negotiate a contract. It's to help them become responsible business owners, CEOs, if you will. And I believe that is our responsibility as coaches, is to deliver that promise, okay? And so how we do that is through numbers, because numbers tell a story. And you're going to have agents explaining to you that, they're not numbers people, and they got straight D's and F's in high school in math. None of that matters. It's the story that we're able to extract. For example, my mom and dad are both on blood pressure medication because a doctor somewhere along the lines told them that their numbers were too high. And now that they knew the numbers, they could properly diagnose the situation and prescribe a cure. So naturally, they have to take a pill every single morning to keep their blood pressure in check. Well, for our agents, their business is no different, right? We are the doctor or the surgeon sometimes for their business, and numbers are telling us the story so we can properly diagnose what is or is not going on in their business and prescribe the cure. In other words, it's our way to assess, is their organization, their business, healthy or is it sick, right? And so that is why numbers matter to us as coaches and how we need to articulate that. Use that example if you want to in your conversations with the agent so that light bulb moment goes off and they get it. Oftentimes, if we can use analogies to parallel what's actually happening here and what we're really asking them for, it really helps it kind of sink in and they say, oh, now I get it. And so one of the other things I share with them is I pull up a snapshot, one of your agent snapshots. And I use a husband and wife couple that I coached during my first year of becoming a productivity coach. And I go through their sheet and I show how they knew their numbers, that every week they never missed a beat. They were always accurate and honest with their reporting. And that led us down the road to knowing that for every 30 conversations they had, they got an appointment. For every 48 conversations they had, they got a new piece of business. Well, if their average sales price was $200,000 at a 3% commission, that's $6,000 GCI. Take 6,000 divided by 48. Well, that number that you get is 125. And so for this specific couple, this married couple, 125 represented the average value of a contact for their business. So they knew whether they finish the day to have anything to show for it or not. If they made 10 contacts today, they just made $1,250. The problem for most of our agents is that money just hasn't shown up yet in their bank account. And you and I both know that what we do today shows up in 90 days. So this is helping them change the way they look at things so that things they look at change. Perfect example is reporting numbers. Challenge them. Do they feel like this is just something they have to do to appease you? Or that there's really no value in reporting their numbers because maybe you, the coach, aren't circling back and showing them the valuable tools and information you can extract from those numbers. That's on us as coaches, because here's the reality. I wouldn't continue to report my numbers week after week if I never got to see the 360 come full circle reason why. So it is our job as coaches to explain it to them and walk them through during your one-on-one sessions. Every single one-on-one session I use the agent snapshot tab, and I pull up that specific agent snapshot, and we talk through the numbers, the goals versus the actuals. So we're having the 4 conversations and everything else that might be on there. So guys, those are a few ideas of how you can explain it to your agents so they really understand the value and the why behind we ask them to report their numbers. It's going to be an ongoing struggle, but it's our job to take a stance for them and continuously articulate the reasons and the value as to why this should be something that's important to them. I can assure you, my mom and dad don't miss a day where they don't take that blood pressure medication. Why? Because they know their health depends on it. So every single week, we just ask that your agents report their numbers into the tracking system. Why? Because their business health depends on it. All right, guys, hope this helps, and reach out to us if you have any other questions, thoughts, or concerns, and we appreciate you, and best of luck moving forward. Talk to you soon.